It is a stunning morning here in California. It is race day at the Thermal Club. This is the NTT INDYCAR Series warm-up show live from the Thermal Club. It is round 2 of the 2025 season. Welcome to FS1. Welcome to the warm-up show with me, Will Buxton, with Townsend Bell, with James Hinchcliffe, and we are actually, really, on pit lane. It couldn't be a better location, guys.
It's fantastic, and Scott McLaughlin is no more than 15 feet over our right shoulder, about to lay a big fat burnout to get the morning started. We just talked with Scotty Mack about the challenges ahead for this warm-up session, namely, what does the tire degradation look like? Nobody knows until this session right now, and of course, how far can you go on gas?
And that's the thing. I mean, I think this is one of the most important warm-up sessions that we've had for a long time, because there's still so many question marks over what these tires are going to do. No one's run them on full fuel. No one's run them to a full stint, and that's both on the hards and the softs. So a lot of work for these teams today.
It's been a busy weekend. It's been a couple of weeks since we were racing last at St. Petersburg. Let's have a little catch up with everything that's happened so far this weekend, starting in practice one, and the one team and the one driver who needed laps was Robert Schwartzman in the Prema, but a fire at the back of his car curtailed all running. He didn't get any laps at all until qualifying started.
And there you can hear McLaughlin behind us get going as Felix Rosenqvist got wide in the final corner. This was Christian Lundgaard. Everybody, in fact, figuring out that bump from last year is very much still there.
And this was the guy in practice, Alex Palou, led it in practice one. As we head to the second one, more cars off track. That's Scott McLaughlin through those fast S's on the back part. Oh, sorry, it's not McLaughlin. It's one of the ECR cars. Colin Herta, all sorts of handfuls of steering wheel trying to keep this thing in one direction.
We had some cooling devices left on Scott McLaughlin's car. The fan got brought back to the pits. And just look at Will Power really working away at the wheel here. Such a tricky challenge, the circuit.
And one of the big challenges for the drivers is they just don't know when they come around one of these corners when there's going to be sand on the racetrack because of somebody like Scott Dixon that went off earlier, as drivers can only watch and smile at all of the unknowns that Thermal presents.
So Lundgaard was fastest in practice 2. Palou had been fastest in practice 1. Scott McLaughlin going for a bit of a spin right at the start of qualifying. It was a miserable day in the end for Penske. All 3 Penskes out in the first stage of qualifying.
Yeah, first time that's happened since 2021. It's been a minute, but the McLaren team was definitely fast and on fire. A couple interference potential calls out there. Nothing was executed by race control as these guys went through, and Pato O'Ward got the deal done.
1-2 for McLaren. O'Ward P1, Lundgaard P2. These are our drivers to watch for today. Hinch has chosen Rossi. I've chosen Foster. You've chosen Scott McLaughlin.
Well, I mean, you just talk about Team Penske. We know they are off on their heels to start this weekend on balance, but I just talked to Scotty Mack before he climbed in the car. He said, I know we're not fast on one lap, but we're good on long runs. I trust those smooth, steady, calm hands to manage the tires.
The man himself, Chip Ganassi, welcome to the show.
Hi, Will. How are you?
I'm grand. How are you?
I'm great. Great to be here.
It's wonderful, isn't it? Listen, what a great start to the season. What a great start for the team. Your 35th year of racing, and Palou just sensational last time out.
Yes, we're pretty excited. You know, I look, when I think of 35 years, I think of our first year, you know, and all I could think about in my first year was making sure I was here in my second year. and here it is 35 years later. It's like overnight, yeah.
Hey, Chip, you wear the orange PNC hat this morning. Of course, got to think of Scott Dixon. When I see the colors, Scott doesn't seem particularly happy when he comes to Thermal. It's not a track that he loves. What are some of the challenges he's been facing this weekend?
Well, I think all the guys are, you know, they're struggling with the tires a bit. You know, like, well, we test a lot, you know, throughout the off season, but a lot of times we show up, we don't necessarily have the tire that they're going to use in the race. So oftentimes, you know, it's a bit of a jump ball when you arrive. How the tire your car is going to react to it.
Your driver of the DHL car, Alex Palou, took us around in a pace car the other day, and I couldn't help but sit in the back seat and watch how much bandwidth he has left. Even when he's driving us at 10 tenths, it was so obvious to me how much more processing ability he has in hand to deal with strategy and everything else. Am I reading that correctly? Is that something you've seen from him?
You're right on it. I mean, I think we're just scratching the surface of this guy's talent long term. I mean, he's a 3-time champion, but he's still new to this. And it's really great to have him on the team.
And Chip, you know, we talk a lot about Alex Palou and the success that he's had. We've seen it with Scott Dixon. You've done it with Dario Franchitti. The underlying common denominator here is Chip Ganassi Racing. So we throw all these laudits on the drivers, but how proud are you of the organization that you've built, the men and women back at the shop, here at the racetrack that are consistently delivering for you guys?
Unquestionably, couldn't do it without him, James. You know, it's like I have some great people. I often tell people if I walked in Monday morning and said, hey guys, we're going to stop racing, we're going to the moon here in about a month, they'd just jump right in and say, okay, what do you want me to do? Let's go. You know, I mean, they're just great guys. I mean, they walk through walls every week for the team, and it's so great to have a great group of people.
Chip, the fact that you say you're just only now scratching the surface with Palou will be ominous to the other drivers out there. Just how good do you think, because you've run some incredible champions over your years, he could be a 4-time champion without even reaching 100 races in IndyCar.
Right.
Is it too early for us to already be talking about him as one of the all-time greats? Just how good do you think he is?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's too early or not, Will, but I like I said, I mean, I think the guy is just, we've not hit his stride yet. It's that simple. I mean, I'm sorry to tell everyone else that, but you guys are in for it, you know.
He really is astonishing. Just astonishing talent.
Well, you look at the precision. That's what I talk about a lot on the broadcast, is his surgical precision, how methodical he is. And in a track like this, Chip, where seemingly every lap the condition is different, whether it's a little bit of dust that's blown off from another car, the tire wear, his ability to adapt and feel so well with his hands and just not overdrive seems to be a huge strength of his behind the wheel.
Yes, I mean, you know, I go back to his first race with us. You know, he tested great in the off season, showed up at the first race, you know, 3 or 4 years ago, and you know, was quick right out of the box. And you know, we were coming off a championship year with Dixon, and you know, and he was pushing him, and so it's nice. The two of them work together well. They push each other, and it makes for some great teammates and some great race meetings.
And when you know it, Alex Palou's just gone to the top of the times. Chip, thank you so much for coming on the show. Look who's joined us. Hello, Jack.
Lads, how's it going?
It's nice to sit down.
It is.
Hinch has got his sunglasses on. That's how chilled he is.
Look, I mean, it's a different scenario over here in the shade. I'm getting the pastiest guy here is getting all the sun. It's bad.
That's sort of 50.
I'm wearing a hat.
Yeah.
I'm 50-50, so I need an eye patch.
I'm good. I'm just chilling in the corner.
You've got a nice shaded spot there.
Mate,
like
what have you discovered? What's going on?
I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but the spread on lap time
we haven't.
for warm-up. No, you haven't been paying attention. It didn't sound like it.
That's why we need you here.
Thank you. The spread in warm-up has just been huge right now, from the fastest lap to the final position, and I just can't remember a time where I've seen it quite that spread out. And I don't know if that's to do with just tires, traffic. Warm-up can be a lot of unknowns and uncertainties, trying to different lines, different bits and bobs, but just haven't really noticed the spread quite that big for a while.
And it's interesting too, because unlike a lot of other races that we're going into, you know, off the back of a warm-up, where you're maybe looking at a fuel-save strategy versus a flat-out strategy, a 2-stop versus a 3-stop. I think universally here, everyone's thinking it's at least a 3-stop, which means fuel windows are big. There's no need to save fuel, so that's one thing drivers aren't doing. You're not losing any lap time driving around saving fuel. The spread you're seeing, that's all on pace.
Yeah, and you're going to get people who are still on the blacks and some people on the red, and really you need to push the tire as hard as you can now just to understand what the cliff might be, when you might get to it, to be able to really drive the strategy one way or the other.
Well, I'll tell you why you have to push the tire right now, because of temperature. This is warm-up, and the day is going to warm up significantly to race time. So if you are not overdriving your tires right now, you have no sense of what it's going to be like when the track is truly hot. You need to abuse those Firestones, to your point. But with just 2 minutes left, nobody will have enough laps to know definitively as we ride on board, thanks to Mobil 1 with Graham Rahal. One thing for sure, guys, I see a lot of sliding around out there, even in cooler temperatures when the track should be grippier.
And that's just it. We're going to see 20, 25 degree hotter ambient, 30, 40 degree hotter track temp. This is not a super representative session. Overnight, some light winds could have thrown some dust on the track. We're going to get that in between warm-up and the race as well. So this is one of the biggest challenges for drivers and engineers that I can remember in recent history, just being able to predict what's going to happen.
Talking about predicting, we've had our little look at who we're watching out for today. Jack, who are you watching out for today? Who do you think is going to have a good
question? You guys know that I thought Christian Lundgaard was had a shot at pole. I'm going to stick with that today. I just feel like he's had such a good start to the season. New team. It's his second time in the Firestone Fast 6. I don't know. I just feel like it could be Christian's day.